Welcome to another episode of Proffitt'S Resurrection Land Cruisers TV. The primary reason for today's episode is this 1966 FJ45 Stage 3 restoration. We're also going to hear from some of the guys in the shop about some of the challenges we face every day while we're building these Land Cruisers. We originally built this Land Cruiser about 18 years ago for a different client.
We love to get our work back to see how it fared over the years, and this one was still going pretty strong. But the new owner wanted to make some changes so that it was more practical of a daily driver.
The first time we worked on this Land Cruiser, we just did an engine conversion. But this client wanted a full-blown Stage 3 restoration.
We decided to keep the 3.3 liter Cummins diesel that we installed 18 years ago, but instead coupled it to a 4L60E overdrive automatic transmission. That makes this vehicle a lot more highway drivable. We added a robust cooling system with a big intercooler to get all the power we could out of the Cummins 3.3.
The 4L60E is mated to a split transfer case with FJ40 e-brake provisions.
Like all of our Stage 3 restorations, the body and bed were removed and completely stripped and refinished.
The frame was powder coated and the entire drivetrain was cosmetically refinished.
The interior of this Land Cruiser is finished out with some cool accessories. The FJ60 bucket seats were covered with vinyl and Mordura combination.
The heating and cooling of the vehicle is taken care of by Vintage Air Generation 4 AC.
Dakota digital gauges keep really good tabs on the Cummins.
A retro audio system completes the dash and provides the driver with necessary driving tunes.
Other accessories on this cool FJ45 pickup include truck light headlights, rigid forward-facing auxiliary lights, and rigid backup lights and cargo lights.
A worn winch finishes off the custom Proffitt'S Resurrection Land Cruiser's front bumper.
As always, Bilstein shocks dampen the ride on this 2.5-inch lifted Old Man Emu suspension with Proffitt'S Resurrection Land Cruiser's shackle reversal.
The entire interior cab, as well as the bed and underside of the vehicle, have been sprayed with Vortex industrial spray liner.
So this isn't the best time to talk about this tech tip, but we are lucky enough to be getting a rainstorm here in Colorado. It's been so dry. So I don't want to get all the camera equipment wet and go out and stand in the rain, but I can do the tech tip anyway. This Lexus LX470 is here for an expedition build, overlanding build, and one of the things we did to it was a lift. When you lift the front end of anything with a CV shaft, it's going to change the angle a little bit of the shaft naturally. Sometimes when that happens, the CV boot, which has been comfortable riding in this position, is now, the boot itself is stressed in this position and the clamp comes loose. You don't know that until after you've driven it and you start to see grease being flung from the CV boot, and that happened with this. So we're going to put new clamps on it. No reason to change the CV half shaft, no reason to change the axle. A couple of new clamps and it'll be good to go. So here at the shop, we get Land Cruisers from all over the place, and most of them have been worked on before. Some haven't, and those are the really nice ones to work on, but there's a mix, and this mix of Land Cruisers that are coming from different places with different people having worked on them presents some challenges for us. Because unless the client has the wherewithal to go for a full-blown Stage 3 build, where everything on the truck is touched by us, sometimes we have to live with some of the things that other people have done. And that's a challenge because it's not very often that other work lives up to the quality control standards that we have here at this shop. Sometimes it does, and there's good people out there building Land Cruisers. That's important to mention. But when the budget doesn't allow for the complete redo of everything on the truck, it's tough for us because we want to see everything as best as it can be. So if you see a Land Cruiser out there and it's got our sticker on it, but something else is on it that doesn't look like it came from here, it's probably one of those ones that just didn't build the whole truck, and it wasn't in the cards to put our hands on every little piece of the vehicle.
I hate working over everybody else's wiring because you can never clean it. the way it should be.
Better to start from scratch.
Yeah, it's better to start from scratch because it will look nice when you're done, not like you're putting a Band-Aid on it.
I very much don't like leaving work that could be related to a safety hazard. Steering components especially, sometimes brake components too, very critical, and so I like to do them the best we can, and from scratch is always best.
So what's one of the challenges when you're doing bodywork to vehicles that have previously been painted?
The biggest challenge really is just making sure the bodywork that's been done was done properly. I never really like doing bodywork over someone else's bodywork because you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, all of a sudden their problem becomes our problem.
Our problem, right. And we want perfection every time, so really getting in there and making sure it's right the first time is key.
It's really all about quality. Here at Proffitt'S Resurrection Land Cruisers, we strive for excellence. In Toyota's terminology, that is true north. We are always headed true north. Currently, we are working on developing a culture of Kaizen, which means continuous improvement, so that everything we do must be better than the last time we did it.
So one of the things that we do here is try to continuously improve our processes and our systems and each product that we do. And so we've got some systems that Toyota uses in place to highlight problems, bring them to the surface so that we can solve them. So when there's a quality problem that needs to be solved or prevented from happening in the future, we've got an on-don system. It's the same thing Toyota uses, and on-don just means to stop, bring the problem to the surface so we can solve it. So this is the on-don light. What it is when something comes up that we need to solve, the on-don light gets transported, rolled to the location of the problem, turned on to the appropriate color, and then the techs are trained to pile on top of that problem, solve it, or learn about it to keep it from happening in the future. Continuous improvement of all processes and systems is what we're striving for. Thanks for watching this, our 21st episode of Proffitt'S Resurrection Land Cruisers TV.
And if you like this one, be sure and check out the rest of them. Also, check us out on social media.
That's right, on Instagram we are at ProCruiser, and on Facebook it's Proffitt'S Resurrection Land Cruisers, and of course the website is resurrectionlandcruisers.com.
And if you like this episode, be sure to check out the rest of them. Also, check us out on facial
was
media.
good.
Facial
Facial
media.
media.
Yeah.
Social media. We have a face for social media. Where's Mark? It's you guys. I promise, there's 17 guys that work here. Can't find any of them now. Anytime the camera guys show up, it's like hippies for the drug bust. They're gone.
Our tires, we like to keep those the traditional color black with the chrominess. If you come here on the inside, this is a secret. This is how we keep our people. We lock our door so we can't get in. We like to go swimming sometimes, so we like to make sure our car can breathe. We like to go with this fancy race style steering wheel because these things hit top speeds of, I don't believe the speedometer, it says 160, but I'm pretty sure it just goes 80, 85 at most.